Hey, we have some important news. We support labor, and we have an important union battle going on here in town, and we want you to inform us about that. Tell us what's going on.
Well, Phil, I was talking to one of the strikers, also a supporter of the program, and we won't give his name because we don't want the employer to retaliate against him.
We're not trying to create stars here.
That's right.
It's not a fashion show.
But this is a very serious fight with a very nasty corporation that is moving to slash wages and benefits. These fine people are members of the UFCW Local 175. They work at for Enterprise. It used to be called National Alamo Car Rental at the airport. And it's not an overstatement to say that the company's engaged in a major union-busting operation here. They've proposed, and the collective agreement expired. They were the new owners, so they wanted to show that they were the new, cowboy in town.
New sheriff in town.
New sheriff in town. There you go. So they offered them pay cuts. They had a pay scale that was that rewarded people for staying with the company for many years. Well, they want to basically cut that scale back and cut wages back to the $12 and $13 an hour rate. They also want to get out of the business of providing benefits for their members. Again, reflecting the mentality of the country where they come from, where they employers seem to believe that workers shouldn't have things like medical care. So they're proposing that the benefit program be paid for entirely by their employees. They're in the 39th day of the strike. They've upped the ante by using a tactic that I don't want to say it's illegal, but I think it's borderline, where they've actually paid severance money. And sometimes people will refuse severance checks, but what they do, of course, in the days of direct deposit, is they go and put the severance money right into somebody's bank account. Then they can argue, well, you took it, so now
you took it.
Yeah. So they're nice little trick.
Most union members are not bankers.
That's right. I mean, the one really wonderful thing about this strike is, of course, it is happening at the airport, which is a heavily unionized environment. They are picketing inside the terminal. There is a kind of a new legal regime since the Charter of Rights. So when the employer went to get a judge to sign an injunction against the picketing, the judge told the two sides to sit down and work out their own rules. Declining, as you might remember from the bad old days when the judge would sign anything the employer put in front of them. So they are being able to picket and somewhat impede the employer's ability to pretend that things are going on normal.
Call attention to the world that a problem exists.
But not only that, the airport has a lot of people who belong to the machinist union, the steel workers, the CAW, the Teamsters, and all of these other people are coming out and supporting their picket line and picketing right inside the terminal. There also are some competitor car rental companies there, Hertz and Avis. These are also unionized companies, and they're getting a lot of support from the people working there who figure that their turn's going to come when their contract comes up next year. Yeah. So it's a very important strike, so we're asking our members, if you're going to rent a car, Enterprise National Alamo is not where you want to go.
Yeah. Bad things happened at the Alamo, we're glad to know about that. Tell me the union again.
The United Food and Commercial Workers, UFCW Local 175.
And how's the big union, labor supporting it?
Sid Ryan, the president of the Interfederation of Labor, has put out a call to all of organized labor, which happens in these situations, say, okay, now it's time for everybody to get on board, and everybody does get on board. I mean, one of the things is that unions help each other out in these kind of circumstances because we recognize what people are up against. Mm-hmm. This is a very, very tough fight.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Phil Conlon, and we will keep track of this strike. It's one of those odd ones and difficult ones. And I wish, by the way, there was a good labor press that just talked about these things. Just like send it out on the net and said, this is what's going on.
Yeah, and one other item. Only on the Taylor Report will you hear news of this strike.
Yeah, probably.
They have been shut out by the press. Nobody's reporting. Now, I think they had one radio